How are you doing today?
Hi, Ara. I'm good, thank you. Good morning to you as well.
I guess today we're going to be talking about one seriously hot subject, right?
Absolutely.
Being here in the South, the home of that Carolina pepper, oh my God, people are in love with peppers. And this right here on Hulu is just going to be so talked about because this is our lifestyle.
Oh, wonderful. So you're a fellow hot seeker, heat seeker, chili lover, maybe?
Oh, it's
by the sounds.
Not just in the chili. We're talking, we put it in the barbecue sauce. We put it in everything we can. And even when I make soup, I mean, I've got to have my peppers.
You sound just like me.
What led you to doing the spicy world of pepper people? Is it because it's more than just a phenomenon and it's really a way of life?
It pretty much is. This started off as a hobby, for me, going and taking part in chili eating competitions all over the UK, then became into something so much more when I got to know, doing the festival circuit and stuff, got to know the hot sauce producers and the plant growers, chili growers, all this sort of stuff. Just made me develop this passion for the chili community. Yeah. So 100%, that's all this show is about. This show is absolutely incredible. It sheds a light on the chili community like never before. And I think a lot of people will find it really interesting and entertaining and educational, I think.
Yeah, because so many people just go to the grocery store to get their favorite pepper. It doesn't grow at the grocery store, and you prove that in this 10-part series in the way that you take us to the growers and then you take us to the receivers.
These peppers, you cannot get them in your local grocers or supermarkets or anything like that. Really specialist peppers, and people who grow them have this huge passion. They spend so much time into growing this wonderful peppers. So yes, exactly.
Man, and it really adds something to it in the way that it, first of all, what I like about a pepper is it slows you down because it's not that instant boom, boom, pow when it hits you. It takes a few seconds and then it comes and then you've got time to heal.
Yes, it's a bit like a silent assassin. You know it's coming and you have it, and then it takes a bit of a time. But it depends on the pepper actually what you're having, because sometimes I've had peppers where they just blow your mind like right from the word go. So it really depends on the pepper, how it hits you and how your body reacts to each and every pepper. It's quite different.
How do you prep your stomach for something like this? Because I really do have to, I can't just jump into it. I've got to get myself ready for it.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah, I think over the years I've actually gone into chili eating competitions without lining my stomach, without having any food. And believe me, I paid the price. The pain was incredible afterwards, cramps for 12 hours and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a bit of a learning curve. So I've learned 100%, you have to prep before anything that's spicy. So I would, if I'm going into a competition, I'd have a banana and peanut butter sandwich, or, yogurt, double cream, that kind of stuff. So anything to line your stomach, really. I like actually having a burger now and a milkshake before every competition. Yep. I feel like it helps, just to sort of have some cushioning in your stomach before you sort of bombard yourself with these peppers that are killer.
One of my very good friends, Ryan, will sit there and he eats these peppers raw. He doesn't cook them. He doesn't do anything. And the thing about it is, I say, what does it do to your body? I see your eyes swelling up, and I see how it affects your nostrils and stuff. And he told me that, he says, my hands go numb sometimes. Is that true? Because my hands have never gone numb.
So I think you'll see this as quite a good part of the show. Actually, you brought up quite a good point. So some people, everybody reacts differently. And some people can suffer from sort of shakes and shivers and things like that. And then there are people who get the Naga claw. There are not that many. I'm definitely one of them. And you will see this featured heavily in one of the episodes where I'm in probably the most brutal competition of my life. Wow. And I actually get hit with the Naga claw. And that's when your hands go numb, your fingers and your thumb just kind of come together into like a claw shape. This is why they call it the Naga claw. And it kind of just, it takes a lot of effort to prise your fingers and your thumb apart to be able to do anything with your hands. And that's an effect of superhots on certain people. So your friend's one of those who suffers from the Naga claw.
Oh my God! I mean, you just described him 100%, and that explains when you say it goes into the claw, and he's always stretching his fingers out. So I can't wait to see him do that again. I'm gonna say, you just had a pepper, didn't you? And he's gonna be shocked when I tell him that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, tell your friend that as soon as it has some fluid, whether it's milk or water or anything like that, that starts to ease off. So it's I don't know why this happens. No one really knows scientifically. Like, people say it's because you're dehydrated and that kind of thing. But then, other people are doing it and they're not getting that. So it's only certain people this kind of affects them. But yeah, 100%, as soon as I have some milk or anything, it starts to ease off, which is quite nice.
Yeah, he cools off by eating an avocado. I mean, he'll do the pepper and then he does the avocado immediately.
That's an interesting one. I've never heard of that before, but I can understand that because it's fat, it's fatty. It'll absorb the capsaicin in your mouth and things. That's a very good. That's a good tip for me.
So what have you learned from doing this 10-part series on Hulu? Because I mean, you went into this, believing in what you're doing, but you had to have learned something brand new.
For me, it was the passion of the people who are being filmed. The pepper growers, I never realized the intricacies and the passion. I always knew of it, but you really see it in the show, and that was amazing. And also the competitive side of things, with the League of Fire, cheerleading competitions, all these people who came to take part for contests for this show. The amount of time this spent training and prepping and being focused, dedicated to training for this contest on the show, it really sort of made me realize, how chili eating is getting so big and people are taking it seriously. Gone are the days when people used to look at chili eating. When I first started, like over 10 years ago, people were like, oh, it's just like a chili sport, like a silly chili sport. What is it? Like, nobody knows of it.
Yeah.
But now it's being taken quite seriously. You're having League of Fire World Chili Eating competitions all over the world. And, people come from different places to watch and partake. So it's such a big thing that I've learned that, in the show, just going through it, like all different aspects of everything, the chili eating, the pepper growing, the hot sauce making, people who collect sauces, just the passion, and it's just very nice. Overall, you just take this feeling away that this community is great. It's a very sort of, I feel like this show is going to show an amazing light of this community to everybody.
Man, see, you talking about that with the sauces and stuff like that, I really want listeners to understand that when you go into this series and we're watching people make those sauces, I hope it inspires them to create their own salsa. And I mean, I realize a grocery store salsa is good, but to make it yourself and to put the pride in it and to find the right temperature that's what it's all about to me.
Absolutely correct. I feel like you do anything from scratch, the pride you'd feel afterwards with with your creation is incredible. Just like I love to cook, and I don't do like shortcuts and stuff. You start from scratch and you go on. And my cooking will be focused on this. Will be focused on in this show as well, which is something I have a passion for. So I completely understand. So like making your own salsa, making your own hot sauce, things like that.
Yep.
I absolutely. I think people will take away from this show, and they will probably be trying a few things out for sure.
I read an article one time that said that eating hot peppers actually keeps you young. Is that true?
Well, they say like eating hot peppers is really beneficial. It gives you these vitamins and it's cancer busting, and all that sort of stuff. There's really good positive vibes with eating chili peppers, spicy food. In moderation throughout, your day-to-day sort of life and everything. So 100% I think is good. People get a buzz from it as well. It's almost like it gives you a bit of energy, endorphin rush, and like having a bit of a caffeine, sort of like a shot or something, espresso shot or something, and then you're like buzzing, from it. So you do see a lot of these reactions when people have hot peppers, they start to buzz and they get really energetic. It's quite interesting.
Man, that sounds just like my friend Ryan. Where can people go to find out more about you? Because I want them to share some love with you.
Oh, Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. Well, my handle is UK Chilli Queen all across X, on Instagram, Facebook, Threads. Threads is absolutely quite sort of demoralizing because you put something up and you get like 2 or 3 likes and you're thinking, what's going on here? But all my other platforms are pretty active. Facebook especially is doing really well, and YouTube as well. So it's at UK Chilli Queen.
And please share with the listeners the actual starting time of when the show is, because I want them to dive into this on Hulu.
Oh, that's really interesting. I think from what I heard, it's definitely available, all 10 episodes on Monday. But a friend of mine said it was like midnight on, because of my America zone and UK zone, it's quite confusing. So I don't want to say something that's wrong, but he said midnight, possibly Pacific time, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I'm sure if you go on the Hulu website, everything will be available. Like, the information should be quite easy to find.
Oh, this is totally my new binge watch. I'll tell you that. I cannot wait to talk with you again in the future. Please come back to this show.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Will you be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's been so great to talk to a fellow heat seeker.